We start tonight with those moments overseas between President Trump, Governor Gavin Newsom, and the ongoing threat over Greenland. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Bell. Governor Newsom is in Davos this weekend, attending the World Economic Forum along with a few other governors. But today, Newsom's team tells ABC 10 the governor's first speaking event was abruptly canceled under pressure from the White House. Now, we'll get to what was said in just a moment and also the Trump administration's response. But first, Karen Travers is at the White House tonight reporting on President Trump's speech in Davos and that ongoing threat to take over Greenland.
President Trump says he will not use force for the U.S. to acquire Greenland, but European leaders say they're hitting pause on a trade deal as the president threatens new tariffs.
President Trump posting on social media that after meeting with NATO's Secretary General, he has a, quote, framework of a future deal on Greenland. He provided no details of what a deal would include, but said Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Rubio would lead negotiations on the U.S. Golden Dome missile defense system and Greenland. The president also saying he's backing off his threat of new tariffs on 8 NATO allies. But earlier, the president dug in.
This enormous unsecured island is actually part of North America, on the northern frontier of the Western Hemisphere. That's our territory.
But the president at the World Economic Forum in Davos stepping back from his previous rhetoric that suggested he could use the military to make that happen.
People thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
The president was asked later why he took the military option off the table.
I don't think it'll be necessary. I really don't. Okay. I think people are going to use better judgment. They'll use their best judgment, and I don't think that will not be necessary.
And his message and warning to Denmark and NATO.
They have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
The president maintains it's the U.S. alone that can protect Greenland, but European leaders are pushing back strongly.
The future of Greenland is only for the Greenlanders to decide.
President Trump says he'll meet on the sidelines of Davos tomorrow with Ukraine's President Zelensky. He said today they're reasonably close to reaching a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, but the president has expressed similar optimism before, and no deal has been reached. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Tonight, during President Trump's speech in Davos, he called out Governor Gavin Newsom in a moment that was actually captured by C-SPAN. Take a look.
I used to get along so great with Gavin when I was president. Gavin's a good guy.
Again, C-SPAN posted this video on Instagram today showing President Trump speaking. Then you saw the camera kind of pan there. It panned over to Newsom and the crowd. The governor laughing, even trying to hold back a laugh during the speech where President Trump said that he helped a lot in Los Angeles last year and that his administration has cut down on crime. The president also saying that starting immediately, there will be no more payments to sanctuary cities. Now, all of this came as Governor Newsom's office says that the governor's first speaking event was canceled due to pressure from the Trump administration, despite the event being held by Fortune magazine. Now, Newsom's team says the governor was instead offered a VIP nightcap reception for off-the-record drinks, which he declined. When Trump's Treasury Secretary spoke today in Davos, he had a message for the governor.
And I can tell my message to Governor Newsom is the Trump administration is coming to California. We are going to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse. And I was told he was asked to give a speech on his signature policies, but he's not speaking. Because what have his economic policies brought? Outward migration from California, a gigantic budget deficit, the largest homeless population in America, and the poor folks in the Palisades who had their homes burned down. He is here hobnobbing with the global elite while his California citizens are still homeless. Shame on him. He is too smug, too self-absorbed, and too economically illiterate to know anything.
Well, ABC 10 has reached out to Governor Newsom's office for comment about these statements, and we have not heard back yet. Meanwhile, Governor Newsom has a speaking event scheduled in Davos at 11:30 tonight local time. Now, people online are asking who is funding the governor's trip to Davos. People are asking, is it the taxpayers? Who is it? So, of course, we wanted to know, too. In a statement from the governor's office tonight, ABC 10 is told, quote, consistent with previous trips and across multiple administrations, Democratic and Republican, the governor and and his staff's travel is not funded by taxpayers. This trip is supported through non-state funds via the California State Protocol Foundation. The California State Protocol Foundation is a nonprofit that uses private donations rather than taxpayer funds to pay for certain expenditures of the governor's office.